Today's class is all about the back and a great one if you're looking to work on posture. We'll be doing everything on the mat today and you don't need any extra equipment. We'll start in a kneeling stance, so just take your knees underneath your hips. I'm going to show you from a slight side angle and just check that everything's stacked on top of one another. So head, shoulders, ribs, hips, knees. Okay? From there, we're just gonna inhale as the shoulders come up and exhale as they come down. So we glide the shoulders like you're scrunching them towards the ears and then let them glide down. You might feel that your shoulder blades start to come up the back and then glide down. Last one like this, you glide up and down. Now we're going to start with a roll. So you pull the shoulders back, roll up and forward, back, up and forward. So we're just moving through the shoulders right now and the blades and keeping everything else stable so we're not swaying through the torso. Last one in this direction, just finding a little mobility release. Now we'll take the shoulders forward, up to the ears, back and down. And here, just be careful as you take them back that you're not puffing through the ribs and pinching the back together. You're staying wide across the chest and the upper back. Last one, like that. Let them roll down. Finding a nice open chest. You're going to take your arms bent in at your sides. We'll press them up to shoulder height and then open side, together, and in. So of course you can add light weights here in the hands, but the reason I didn't choose to do that today is because I really want us to focus on the movement of our shoulders and shoulder blades, how they work together, how they stabilize and mobilize separately. And sometimes that can be hard, or we can build neck tension if we add the weights. So this one's really focused. So you press the arms forward, blades rotate up, and then they come together and apart and down. Okay, a few more like this. Just breathing. We press the arms forward, you open up, feel wide across the chest and back. Last one. You hold open, you're gonna hug the elbows into your sides and then up into a diamond shape. Okay, so here you feel how the blades rotate up your back and then back down to hug your spine. They rotate up and down. And we wanna feel this sensation that the blades are sitting flush on the spine here. So they're not winging out. They're just rotating down and up. A few more. Feeling nice and upright. Last one. We're going to hold our arms in this goalpost shape. You're going to bring the elbows slightly ahead of the shoulders and then press back. So you shift the arms slightly forward and back, very tiny. Okay, and here I want you to think that the blades aren't moving. It's just this movement from the shoulder. You're using upper back muscles to press the arms back, but you're not pinching the blades together, okay? Feeling all the muscles in the upper back working, lifting up through the core, off the knees. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Hold. We're going to twist the ribs one way, center, and other way. So just introducing a little spine mobility. Because we'll be working on the spine erector muscles, which help us stand up straight. Which is why this one's really good for posture. A few more like this. 1 more each side, twisting from the belly button up. and then let the arms come down by your sides. You can take a roll of the shoulders back. From here, palms are facing in towards your body. You're staying upright. You're gonna glide the arms up into a wide V and then down in front of your hips. So arms come up into a V and then down. So we're just staying in tall kneeling. If kneeling bothers you, you can always do this standing. You can also do it seated in a chair. Okay. So you feel the blades rotate up your back and then they come down. And maybe you don't feel that quite yet. That's okay. It's a practice to tune in to how your body's moving. But it is something I want you to try to tune in to eventually. Let's go for 2 and we'll add on. Last one. Okay, now we're going to hinge the bum back as you lift the arms into the V, and then as you go back upright, you're gonna circle the arms side and slightly behind the body. So we hinge V and circle back. Okay, so let's try not to rush this. This is super intentional because I don't want us to build any strain in the neck. And how that strain builds is because the shoulders, the arms, and the blades just aren't working together, or maybe we're not connecting to the right places. So I want us to try to tap into that movement, like I said before. And also think about keeping core strong and feeling all of those muscles in the side waist up to underneath the armpit, around the backs of your shoulders, working here. To lift the arm and then pull down sides of the body. That's your lat working. On this next one, you hinge back, hold. Same thing, hands come down in front of hips and then wide V lift. So just how we started tall kneeling, now we're in this little hinge. It's a lot more work for core to hold your hinge, protect your lower back by pulling your belly button into your spine. And there's no movement except for coming from the shoulders and the blades. Okay, so as the shoulders lift up, so do the blades, and as they come down, blades move down. Feeling all of the muscles along the spine, especially upper back, working here for 3. Last little bit, 2. Try not to use momentum. And 1. We hold the arms at the top. You're gonna flip the palms to face down and then pull one elbow in and send it back. And then the other. You can always do this upright if you're feeling unsteady in the hinge. You pull, feeling all the muscles underneath the armpit down into the sides of your waist, the lat working to pull your arm down. 3 more. We've got 3. I know this upper body work, this posture work could be tricky. We got this. Last one. And then circle all the way up. Coming onto hands and knees now. We're gonna take a break just to mobilize a little bit. So you're feeling tall on the arms. You're gonna round up through the spine, wag the body side, and then arc through the spine, coming over to the other side. So you're drawing circles, allowing the head and neck to follow. Getting all parts of the spine involved here. Finding a release of any tension built up. We can easily build tension in these posture series. So last one this way. Stop in your rounded spine. We're gonna wag in the other direction and then arc through. Usually your second side is the more awkward side, but we'll breathe through it. Last one in this direction. holding up in your arch or your round, and then come back to neutral. So you're tall in the arms, little dip in the lower back. We're just going to drop the chest towards the mat and then press out of the arms, chest comes away from the mat. Okay? So what's creating the movement here is your shoulder blades are coming together and then they're coming apart. So the blade glide together and apart. I want you to imagine like they're two slippery bars of soap. They glide together and apart. So feel really nice and mobile there. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Press up and then lower about midway in between those 2 points. You still have that little dip in your low back. We're going to take one arm aside and then back to the mat. Switch other arm and back. So introducing some core here, going side to side. So your deep core transverse abdominis has to work to stabilize and keep everything still as you just lift one arm and then the other. Okay. We're going to go back to the side that we started on and hold, palm facing the floor. You're going to take your arm up into a high V, hold there, elbow pulls down, back into your V and side. So you go high V, we're staying on this side, pull the elbow back into the high V and side. So you feel how the shoulder blade glides up, then down, then up and down a bit. Definitely feeling all of the back muscles working here and core. You're staying tall on your supporting arm and shoulders, chest are parallel to the mat. Let's do 2 more. Up V, pull that elbow down to side. And last one, you pull, feeling your lat there, and side and down. Awesome. We're gonna go back into the alternating side reach. Just finding our center again. Such small movements and even no weight, and you just feel this so much. Most of us really need this back work. We'll hold over to the other side, other arm, circles up high V, pulling the elbow down, back to your V, and then back side. So you go up and pull. And side. You can always take breaks here if you feel any tension building up. Pull, V, and side. Let's do 3 more. You pull down, feeling your lat. Anybody feeling obliques, deep core here? Keeping everything stable as the arm moves, shoulder blade moves. Last one, high V, pull, back, side, and drop the arms. We're gonna go back into those circles, just 2 on each side to release any tension before we start again, and then other way. And then you round up and then flatten out to your neutral spine, little dip in the lower back. We're going to take the other arm straight outside, hold, pressing off the bottom arm. You're gonna open up through the ribs and then back parallel with the mat. You're going to open, feeling the bottom side oblique work to lift you off the mat, and all of the muscles underneath the armpit lift you up and down. hold at the starting position. You're going to step the opposite leg back like a kickstand. Same thing. This time you open, close, and then reach underneath, thread the needle. Back side. You open up and center. Reach under. That should feel real good. A little release there. Let's do 2. Carefully not moving the hips. They're staying stable here towards the mat. It's just a twist from the belly button up. And 1. Back side. Drop the arm down, walk the leg in. We're going straight on over, so other arm lifts side for me. We're gonna press out of the arm on the mat and lift and lower. So you press up out of your arm and you twist through the ribs, side, and then lower. Last one like this. And back. You'll step the opposite leg back like a kickstand. We'll open up, close back, chest to mat, and then reach underneath, thread the needle. Okay, so hips are staying parallel. And check in on your shoulder. As you twist open, keep it in line with your chest. I don't want us to overstress the shoulder and try to reach the arm back just to get a little bit more range. You kind of want to think your chest, torso, arm moving as one unit. Last one. Feeling it here all along the back. Twist, enjoy that. Back, center, and then hand comes down. Amazing. We're going to shimmy back for a moment. And just extend into your child's pose, reaching long out of both sides of your waist. Start to tuck through the chin and then roll forward into your modified plank. And then you sit the bum back. Okay, so we're tucking through the chin, rolling forward. And then you come into neutral, little dip in the low back at the top. And then back. 2 more like this. Rolling forward. And back. Last one. Tuck through chin, roll forward. Feel a nice stretch to the upper back. And then here we're just going to lower down onto our stomachs for prone. Okay, I'm going to keep my head up for most of this so that you can hear me, but I'll cue you through what I want you to be doing. Make sure you've got enough room. It might shimmy down in front of you to reach the arms in front, but for now we're going to bring the arms in a goalpost position by our sides and just check in that the elbows are slightly above the shoulders. From there, you can drop your head to the mat. Okay, I'm going to keep mine slightly up so you can hear me. From there, we're going to just roll the shoulders down and back so that the shoulder blades feel nice and flush on the back. And you're just going to hover the arms off the floor slightly and then lower down. Okay, so we're feeling nice and long through the back here. And lift it up through the belly button as we move. And do me a favor and unclench your glutes if you feel that at all. Okay, so they're working for you, but I don't want you to clench. Let's do 2. Feeling that the blades are stable on our back. We're not pinching as we lift. 1, holding at the bottom. You're going to hover the forehead off the mat, keeping the chin tucked. And then you're going to lift up through the core to shine your breastbone forward, little spine extension, and then back down towards the mat, and then you drop the forehead. So the first step is that head hover. And then you start to nod forward, lifting up through the core. Feel like you're getting longer through the sides of your waist. And back down. Head hovers. You lift. And lower. Last one. And lower down. Okay, roll the shoulders down again for me. This time we're going to press into one hand as we nod forward. Find a slight twist in the spine. And then back down to center. Forehead taps the mat. You hover the head. You press into the other hand as you nod forward. Breastbone shines forward. And down. Being really careful not to crunch in the back body. So we're thinking like you're lifting up through the sides of your waist to extend through the spine. And down. Head hovers. This prone work is not easy. And lower. Awesome work. We're going to walk the hands back by our sides now. Okay, so they're nice and hugged in by our sides. You can just let the shoulders roll towards the mat and forehead rest on the mat for me. From there, forehead rests on the mat. You just roll the shoulders back and then hover the arms. And then palms come back to the mat and you allow the shoulders to come forward. So the shoulder blades come slightly apart with the shoulders rounded forward, and then you bring them flush back on the spine as you roll the shoulders back and then hover the arms. Okay, a few more like this. Rolling shoulders back. Maybe we've forgotten about the core, so I'll ask you to pull the belly button up away from the mat and keep lower back nice and long. And again, you can have your forehead on the mat for this one. Last one here. We hold. I'll ask that you hover the head if that's available to you. Palms face towards the mat. You're going to glide both arms up to a high V if that's comfortable. You can always just go to a T and then back down by your sides. So we're still in neutral here. Belly button is pulling in and you feel heavy across the fronts of your thighs. And we're feeling all of that work in the upper back. The blades reach up forward with the arms and then down by the spine. Now we're going to add on for these last four. You reach forward with the arms. As you come back, you start to peel the chest up, shine the breastbone forward, and then lower down. Arms come overhead. We've got three. You lift up and in through the core, shining the chest forward. And down. This is two. Keeping the back of the neck nice and long, so chin tucked for me. Last one, peel up. And then hands come in by your sides. We're going to press through the hands up off the mat. Let the hips sit back in space. Feeling a nice reach out of the spine and the sides of the body. We're going to tuck through the chin, roll forward, and then sit back. So just mobilizing a little bit. We did a lot of extension, so just finding some flexion now. Should feel nice stretch along the upper back. Rolling forward. Last one. And you'll meet me back in your child's pose. Okay. Again, feeling nice and long here. And we can take one arm underneath, finding a nice twist. Letting the head rest into the mat. Getting really heavy, releasing any tension. Breathing deep breaths into the sides of your rib cage. We'll switch. Other arm comes forward. Other hand underneath. Breathe in and exhale. One more breath here for me. And then back center. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly roll up bone by bone. Stack the spine, rolling the shoulders back. Awesome. I hope you feel nice and lifted, upright, supported. Let me know how that went. Posture work, back work, never easy, like I said, but totally worth it and super important for us. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next one.